Hey there guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Ultraloq, and this is a smart deadbolt. So what we have here is a smart deadbolt door lock, and this comes in two different colors. Comes in satin nickel and matte black. So I got the satin nickel to match the existing hardware that I have. And it looks like right now on Amazon it comes in at a price of $149. Traditionally $189.99. Now this one has just the keypad and a traditional door key. However, they do have a model that has a fingerprint scanner, which is a little bit more. The reason I purchased this one was because they actually use the same one in my office and I really liked it. They have the higher end version with the fingerprint scanner. That one is about $189 or $179 if you wanted to get that. A pretty simple blue box, Ultraloq branding, smart deadbolt here at the bottom, Ultraloq on this side. We have some barcodes, QR codes on the other side, and then nothing on the bottom. So let's go ahead and open up and see what we get inside. I have one sticker holding this closed. All right, and as you can see, we do get quite a bit in the box here. So of course, on top, we have our installation and user guide, relatively thin, which is nice to see. We have what will be on the front of your door. So this is, again, the satin nickel, so it looks really nice. We have our traditional keyhole. We have our keypad going around it, as well as a little enter key. And as you can see, it's a little thick, but this one is a lot smaller than some other smart deadbolts that I've seen, so it looks really nice. Now, of course, on the back side, you're going to be a little thicker because this one has to house the batteries as well as all the electronics in it, but you have the turn right there, and then you just slide this up and you can put your batteries in. One great thing here, it does include the 4 AA batteries you will need. You do have a little cable coming out of the front, and that will go into right here. And then of course you have your traditional screw holes here where you're going to put your screws through. We have another piece that goes on the back of this here, right here. And then we have, of course, what goes into the side of the door to turn the deadbolt, of course. We have our piece to go on the opposite side. We have all of our screws as well as our new keys, and those are very interesting looking keys, I must say. We have some more screws here, and then we have our wireless bridge or Wi-Fi bridge. So you will need this to get that Wi-Fi access for the door lock. So I think a lot of them really include this in the hardware itself, but this is separate, so you will need to find a plug probably somewhere near the door lock. And they also do include a screwdriver, so you won't actually have to provide your own. Just slide it in place like so. All right, now that we got everything here, let's go ahead and install it. All right, so step one, of course, is to remove our existing deadbolt. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And in our installation guide, they do have a QR code here at the top where it lets you watch an easy step-by-step installation before you attempt to install it. And then it has every step you'll need in here. So of course, we're gonna check our door's dimensions for installing the bolt and strike panel, installing the exterior assembly, and that wire, again, I mentioned, goes through and connects to the back. Gonna connect that there, screw it in place, all that good stuff. So I'll go ahead and do that now, and we'll see how it comes out. Now on my door, I did not replace the strike plate for the deadbolt because, as you can see, the one I have is kind of strange. So the one it comes with has 2 center screws. However, this one has 4, so I just left it as is and it still works fine. However, you will need to make sure that it is deep enough so that the deadbolt can actually sit in there because if it does not sit fully flush, it will continue to try to unlock every single time it tries to lock. All right, we're taking the front, putting it through the door. Now we're going to screw in the back plate. So this goes through. We're using the big bolts for these. And there's a little place where you can pull that little pigtail here, and it goes down into this little notch, while the part for the deadbolt actually goes through the side. Next, we're going to install the interior assembly. So you won't want to remove the battery because you're going to be screwing in the bottom here. And then you will need to plug in the little dongle into this. And you'll be using the tiny screws for the back of the interior piece. And once you have it in place, it'll look like this. And then you should be able to unlock and lock the door like so. Now we're going to install our batteries and our battery cover. And once you install the batteries and the battery cover, a red light will blink on the back. All right, before we download the app, we're gonna go ahead and plug in our Wi-Fi bridge. All right, taking a quick look at the app, you can see we have any devices would be listed on this front screen as soon as you go in. Now, as you can see, I have the front door listed. On this square, you can see we have 4 different functions at the bottom. So we have the current status of the door where you can lock and unlock. So as you can see, it is currently locked. You can tap on that to unlock the door. And if we go back, you can see the next function is our users. So I do have a couple different users. Now, in addition to having these users, you can give them access to the smartphone app, or you don't have to give them access to the smartphone app. If you go back to that front screen, the next one is our log. So you can actually see a log of who has gone in and out of the door. You can also see when it has auto-locked or been manually locked. So you do get quite a bit of information here. So you can also look at the calendar, and you can go back to a different day, and you can see who's unlocked the door, and times and all that good stuff. The next one is our settings. So once you go in settings, you can go into name and photo. So of course I took a picture of the door lock, named it front door. You get your information about your lock, battery level, you get smart notifications, you have lock sounds, you can turn those off. You have your status, you can go in here, and you can see it's under normal. You do have a lockout mode, so if you put it in lockout mode, the only thing that will work is just the key itself. So if you do that, nobody will be able to use their code or the app. You have Magic Shake, which if you go in here, you can turn this on, and basically what this does is you shake your phone, and it will unlock it once you get up to the door, and I'll show you that in just a moment. We also can change the direction of the lock. So this is asked when you first enter or first add the lock in, and of course mine is going this way, so you can change that if it is not. You have auto lock, which it'll auto lock. You can change the timing of that. Mine is set to 30 seconds, so if it's unlocked for 30 seconds, it will lock itself, which is really nice, but you can also change that timing. Now, the next feature I'll show you is auto unlock. So what's great about this is it will create a geofence around your house, and you do have to have your location on all the time on the app, so that when you do get close to the house or in that geofence, the door will automatically unlock. However, I didn't have very good luck with that working, so I did disable it. You also have your firmware, so you can go in and check the latest version. You have an advanced section here where you can delete and reset, and then you can see the paired bridge as well. So our bridge does need to be paired so you can use it outside of the house. However, I did have a problem with this when I first did it because it would not work outside the house. It would only work in the house. However, after unpairing and repairing the bridge, it now works outside of the house. And adding a user is pretty simple. So once you go to the users section, you just tap the plus at the top right. You'll see we have a user type, and you can choose an admin, which will have all access basically to everything. They'll be able to see the logs, add users, delete users, control settings as well, and everything else. You have a normal user, which can unlock or lock the door. They can use the app or code. And you have a temporary user, which can do those same things within a specific time range. So if you have somebody checking on your animals, for example, while you're on vacation, you can set them to have 5 days of access to your door, and then remove that access when you're done. So I'm going to choose a normal user. I'm going to name this test user. Click next. All right, and then you have a 4 to 8 digit code to unlock. So we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add a code. And then you can give them app access, or you don't have to. And all they have to do is download the app, and it'll be sent to their email when you do that invitation. However, I'll skip it here. So as you can see, I don't have smartphone access, but I do have a passcode, and it is successful. So go ahead and click done. And now that new user is right here. So in here, I can always go back in. I can delete, disable their account, or I can give them smartphone access, or remove their passcode altogether if I want to. And another great feature of this lock is you can use it with your Amazon devices or Google devices or IFTTT devices. So if I go in here to devices, you will be able to see that I do have my lock enabled here. And once you do put that lock in, you will have to put in a code. So if you do actually use the voice part of the assistant, it will ask you that code to authorize it first. And those will go into the log on your other app. So if I were to say, unlock.
What's your voice code for front door? Unlocking. Hang on. The front door is unlocked.
But it did take a few seconds and it did actually unlock. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right, so when we want to close the door, as I mentioned, you have 30 seconds before it closes. If you want to go ahead and lock it right away, just tap the OK button like so. and it will lock the door. Now, when you want to come in, all you want to do is just type in your code. So our test user, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, unlock, and you're good to go. So the magic shake feature is kind of interesting. So I showed you in the settings how to enable that. You can have a couple different shakes of your phone, and basically you just want to have it near the lock, and you're just going to shake it. And then as you can see, we'll unlock it like so. And the other feature you have is auto unlock. So as soon as you walk up to your door, if you have that enabled, as soon as you're within the perimeter, the door will unlock. However, I haven't had very good luck with this, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Alright guys, so there you have it, a quick look at the Ultraloq Smart Deadbolt. So for a pretty inexpensive price, you get a very fully featured lock. So I really do like the fact that it has the PIN code access. Of course, that can be given out temporarily and given out permanently, and you can also disable it for whoever. So I really like that you can give smartphone access per person, check the log of who's going in and out of the house, really like that. I also like the smart home integration, and of course the extra little goodies that they have with Magic Shake, Auto Lock, and Auto Unlock. So really nice features for this lock. So not very expensive, as I mentioned. I'll leave this link down below if you guys are interested. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.